Awesome.
As far as playing the whole chord.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's Phil, you can tell.
Turn that on.
Yeah.
Is this your first one?
Yes, the very first one. So that's why I'm losing track of it all the time.
Yeah, you just strum along.
I wrote out the chords in C for cable.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
The only one that is off is Shema.
Everything else should be in the same key. There's always there's always the one, right?
I'll grab that.
Oh yeah, here, let's get that for you. I grab my tie too.
That's funny.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom to you. How are you?
Doing all right. How about you?
Just fine, thanks.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is my friend. He happens to be a reverend of the United Church of Christ, and he wondered what all the fuss was about with Judaism, so we decided to come.
Come visit. Well, welcome.
Steve.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have this is for the third Friday of the month, we invite volunteer congregants to kind of form a bit of a pickup band and play with the service. So all of these are just folks who come together again once a month. A rotation of folks who play.
What did you say, Steve? They do this once a month now? This musical service?
Yeah, third Friday.
Third Friday. Les, I have a gift for you.
You know, it's pretty basic.
You'd like to have a
Well, I'm okay. Yeah, that is okay. I just want to.
How do you feel with your mind and
I'll make this change, so.
Yeah.
Do you do that often, you and Bev? Just have a snack and dinner? You do that fairly often?
Not that often.
I'll be right back out.
Not that often.
Yeah, go for it.
Just worked out tonight that way.
So, can she start out Sunday morning and get there in time to do my sermon? That's probably about an hour away, huh? Would you say?
Yeah, maybe a little farther, but right around that.
Yeah. I think they call it Holy Hill. There used to be a monastery there.
That's
I
right.
don't know if they still is or not. This sanctuary was completely gutted and redone and, yes, just in time for our high holidays this fall.
Oh, that recent.
So the carpet's new and all the painting, and they took out all the pews and they put in these chairs.
Very comfortable.
They are, yeah. Hi Les, how are you? Good.
Very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is a nice combination. But I'm not gonna be able to join you for high school, but you walk there.
Okay, you can drive.
drive by.
Okay. If Marty comes, we need a place for Marty, but I guess, Marty's not gonna be able to make it. Oh, he's not? Oh. Yeah, he sent me an email just telling her this afternoon. Okay.
The rabbi's wife was a rabbi as well.
I think I've met her.
Yeah. And, she's not a people person, I would say. And, but as many times as I've been here before, she never comes to service. It's interesting.
How are you?
Never comes to service.
What's happening? Nice to see you. How are you doing?
I saw in the paper where a couple of our parishioners here, they're called Levy, L-E-V-Y.
How many hours?
They contributed $20 million to the new LAS building at the university, which will cost a total of $1 million. That's quite a thing.
It's one of those things like, when you're young, you think, oh, this is the whole thing, and then you realize, I try to let it be.
And those, in that context, pleasure.
Oh, and then it's like, because they're light, I put them on the old things. Oh, I don't even mean so much that, I can, like, with all the kids, stuff like that, I don't know if that like that, you know, because it's one of those things that I'm younger, if I try it.
Oh, really?
Twice as long.
Yeah.
This time I was like, no, this better.
So it might not work with different ways.
Better shape. Ready to go to this
Yeah. Definitely makes sense, I just haven't done it.
No, actually not.
Yeah, we're doing it.
This is a dual narrative approach, which means we're looking at the Israeli and Palestinian situation. We're going to Jericho, along with Gaza's border.
I would feel probably at least one of them for next day.
Oh, yeah, sure.
No, yeah, and this really is.
It's really interesting. They're newly opened.
Yeah, I'll think about it. And I only do it next year makes more sense, just because that's one set of that stays for like over a week. Where now.
That's good to hear. And they require tourists to have. So everybody got good for
So there's waterfront, or there's the kitchenette. Right there, there's something there.
It's just our little city. No, I'll talk about it. There will be controversial.
There's a website I go to.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Like kind of like maybe
They're very interested in including LGBTQ people and welcoming them to the
Anyway.
Yeah, it's refreshing.
I think they get better attendance here when the choir sings.
That would be like what, like no shirt on or something?
Shabbat Shalom, gentlemen.
I'm just thinking like,
Yes, this is my friend Steve, he's a UCC pastor, and he wanted to come and see where all the fuss was with Judaism. And he lives in my apartment complex.
Okay.
This is our Rabbi Page.
Jonathan Bite. Hi. Good to see you.
Yes.
I was here once before for a,
What?
Seder.
Oh, okay.
It's over in the big hall.
Did you have a congregation here at some point in town?
Well, I'm currently serving two small churches, down near Lake Geneva, actually.
Okay.
And I'm a interim pastor and very part-time delegate.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I just commute and works out well. The other half I'm retired.
You know, all of that sounds very good. Retirement? Yes.
He's married to a pastor too.
Very nice. Good.
At same church, which is nice.
You're welcome. I hope you gained something and learned something
Thank you.
tonight.
I love live music.
Enjoy the music. And that's the most important thing, right? This is a night of good music, so you can enjoy.
Oh, boy.
How are you?
Well, it's just about 7:30.
Yeah. I'll learn a lot, especially as
You do well.
social halls and community for it. Oh, yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Oh,
This will likely be the standard setup.
He's a really good Harrison.
Hi there, Shabbat Shalom. Once you file everything, and you know what tables you're gonna be using and all that stuff. Some of the stuff you can try them all.
I understand. Were you a member here when the congregation had its bema here? Oh, really?
Yeah, you would walk in, and the sanctuary was just a little, not very wide. Yeah,
Interesting.
So what is the class?
and then the house.
There's a stage. Right. I see.
Just need a little project to work on, it's not really a.
Well, here, again, now everything is flexible. We can just, everybody can have more or less a comfortable seat. Although we only have 140 of these chairs, and they're all very much. They're wide. They have a place for that. That's just pushing back.
Usually have power strips that are like 12 feet long that are just, because the bricks, you know,
Generally, the prayer shawl is not used in the evening, except for Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur.
I was thinking maybe
Things change.
the AC power on the floor and like you would have.
Yes, well, most often the prayer shawls are white and blue. And he's got a very dark color, that's unusual.
One of the reasons I'm going to sit down for my, I'm going to beware of this.
Yeah, Sophia comes the first Friday of every month. It's her bedtime.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Steve, are we ready to go? Yes, great. Shabbat Shalom. It's so good to be with everybody here. Those people who are joining us online, those people who are in our sanctuary tonight for Shabbat Midor, Lador, our musical service for the whole temple family. It's great to have everybody here. We'll introduce the promised band in a little while, but just as you're getting settled, first, if you are watching and joining us online, know that in those URLs and the links in the video description, you have one to our supplement for tonight. and our program. The supplement will help you with special lyrics for tonight, as well as some of the things that we'll be doing, the order of services there, and that's followed by the program with all of our important community announcements. And if you have a seat here in our sanctuary, which we're so glad you all came tonight, you have the supplement as well as the program, 2 printed pieces. And I hope everybody also has a copy of the prayer book, because it's helpful to have that too. If you're watching online, you have a video in the video description, you have that as well. So you can click on the link that talks about the prayer book, and that will take you to the CCAR website, where you'll find the prayer book for tonight. Please follow along with us and enjoy this great service of music to enjoy the Shabbat. We begin.
A friend of mine wrote a melody. Am I amplified?
Yep.
Yes? Okay. A friend of mine wrote a melody that for this certain special year that we're in the calendar, and I'm happy to talk to anybody about it after. For now, I just want to share this melody and let it kind of live in us for a bit. So I'll do a phrase, and then we'll do it all together, and then we'll all do it all together. First part goes like this. Yai lai lai, ya da 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 da. Yai lai lai, ya da 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 da. Yai lai lai, yai lai. And we really will do ooh, ooh. Can we try it together? Ooh. Together, yai lai lai, ya da 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 da. The next part goes like this: ya da lai lai lai, ya da lai lai lai, ya da lai, ya da lai lai lai, ya da lai lai. Yai lai, yai lai, yai lai, yai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yada lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai. Let's try it all together now. Lai lai lai. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da da. Ya da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Shabbat Shalom. I am. Shabbat Shalom. Keep it up. That's good. Vamping is great.
Right.
So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. On this night, we welcome you to this place where we can rest at the end of a busy week. We can take our souls and say, it is now time to replenish them. Because we've had a busy week. We've had weeks of talk. We've had weeks of disappointment. We've had weeks of success. And all of that brings such great emotions to us. And yet Shabbat is the time when we indeed want to relax and we want to join one another in taking this day where we break from the various things that we do. As the cantor mentioned, this is also the beginning of the Shemitah year. The word Shemitah literally means letting things drop. It means release. It is the beginning of the 7th year in the cycle in the land of Israel, which means that servants were released from their servitude back in ancient days. It means that even today there are farmers who let their lands lie fallow the whole year to replenish all of the nutrients that have been taken from the land in the past 6 years. And in fact, certain people, when they go to the store in Israel, will only buy fruit that has a special marking on it to denote that this fruit was harvested not in fields where there has been plowing and not in fields where there has been processing. It's only in fields where naturally these crops come from. Again, this is the sabbatical year. This is the year of release. It's the year when debts are remitted as well. And so it actually gives us a chance to learn Torah. It frees up the mind a little bit to say we're going to think about learning, we're going to think about understanding a bit of our history, a bit of where we came from. And as we contemplate all those things on this Shabbat day, we hope that for everyone, that there is the opportunity for rest and relaxation as we now listen to the words and music of this music that we're singing, of these beautiful voices from the Promised Band who lead us in prayer on this night. The light of the world, the light in our hearts, that is all increased by the light that God has given us for the Shabbat. The sun goes down, and we take this day into ourselves, this day of rest and relaxation. We honor the blessings of light that God has given us, and we honor the light within ourselves as we now inaugurate and we welcome Shabbat to our community. Oh, loving God, with a full heart, we thank you for the blessing of the week which has passed and for the strength which you granted us to overcome the difficulties that we faced. We ask your blessing for the week that lies ahead. Grant health and contentment to our loved ones and friends. Help us strengthen each other with gentle words and acts of kindness. Bestow blessings upon all your children, and may we indeed enter this Shabbat in peace, in purity, and in radiant joy. And we're still on page 3 of the supplement, so join us there for the brachot, for the bracha, really, for lighting of Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hadlikneh v'tzivanu v'tzivanu Shel Shabbat, Shel Shabbat. Blessed are you who command us to kindle the light of Shabbat, of Shabbat.
We continue on page 138 with Lecha Dodi. Tonight we're offering verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 in the prayer book. Again, page 138 in the prayer book.
Lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'chavera. Lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'chavera. La 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 lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'chavera. Lecha dodi, likat likat kala. Zachor v'lipurecha, ishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, Hashem v'tifaret v'nektidah l'chad oti, likat likat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'chavera, likat oti, likat likat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'chavera. Likat Shabbat v'chuven elcha, Yihi mekor ha'berachah, ve'oshtik b'dem zetzucha, zocha Shabbat likat oti, likat likat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'chavera. Likat oti, likat likat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'chavera. Titori, titori, tivaorei, tumiori, uri, yivaberi, kibur Adonai Adonai, likat likat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'chavera. Likat oti, likat likat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'chavera.
We invite the congregation to rise, face the doors, as we welcome in a very spiritual way the Shabbat as she enters our community.
Ohi shalom, atet kala, tam v'simcha, u'lesola, tov emunei, tam segula, boi chala, boi chala, la 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 la. Shabbat
On page 140, we continue with Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat, yet a psalm specifically recognizing this day, recognizing the instrumentation, the music that is to come forward on this day, as well as the wisdom, as well as the goodness that comes from this day. Page 140 in the prayer book. We now make a transition to Ma'ariv. And as we do that, as we go into the service proper, I want to invite everyone just to let the music flow through you. And it might be the music you hear, it might be the counter music, the harmonies that you hear in your head. Whatever it is, it may make you sad or happy, it might be bright music, it might make you pensive, but feel the emotions that come through from this music. And also sense them so that you can reach out to other people and sense how they are feeling on this Shabbat. One of the things that we do is we try to empathize with other people, their troubles, their sadnesses, their joys, their exaltations, so that we know how other people feel and so that we can be with them. There may be people whom we know, people whom we've just met, or people that we don't know. But always recognize that this music pulls emotions out of us. And therefore, let us act on those emotions and let us recognize those emotions and revel in those emotions because they're emotions given to us from God. In the prayer book, we can be on page, actually, let's go to the supplements. On page 3, we continue with Baruch Hu, a call to worship, and roll into dark. We invite the community to rise for the call to worship on page 3 of the supplement. On page 3 of the supplement to roll into dark. Prayer book, page 152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Elohim Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Please be seated, and in the supplements we continue on page 4 with Ve'ahavta, and thou shalt love, and you shall love. Please be seated. Love Adonai your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart. Shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down.
of your house and upon your gates and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise.
Page 158 in the prayer book, Michamocha, a Song of Freedom. Page 158. We continue on page 160 in the prayer book with Hashkivenu. You can also find it on page 4 of the supplement with special English lyrics that we have tonight. So again, page 160 for the Hebrew, and page 4 also there's Hebrew there, as well as lyrics for this evening, for our evening prayer, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom, Shalom. V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha.
We now enter a time of tefillah, a Hebrew word that means worship, really. And it means introspection as well. It means taking a look inside and wondering what kind of people we want to become. Tonight, we begin the tefillah on page 181 in the prayer book, on page 181, with a selection, Create a Pure Heart Within Me, which is composed by our cantor, Jacob Nami. Beautiful melody. As you can see, it's based on Psalm 51, the words of Psalm 51. And then from there, we'll be proceeding into some of the brachot of the tefillah. But on page 181, we begin, Create a Pure Heart.
Create a pure heart within me. Let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. Create a pure heart within me. Let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. Then I will stand and sing out power of your forgiveness. I will teach your love to the lonely. Those will find their way home. I will teach your love to the lonely. Those will find their way home. Create a pure heart within me. Let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. Create a pure heart within me. Let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. And I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness. I will teach your love to the lonely. Lost will find their way home. I will teach your love to the lonely. Lost will find their way home. Adonai, please rise. My lips and my mouth will declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips and my mouth will declare your praise. And my mouth will declare your praise.
On page 166, we invite everyone now again to rise for tefillah, page 166.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Ve'hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Ve'konei Ha'akol וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה.
Please be seated. In the supplement on page 5, we continue with Ritzeh. Again, page 5 in the supplement. On page 178, we continue with Shalom Rav. Page 178 in the prayer book.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Nasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Nasim Leolam. Ki ata umelech adon lechol hashanon.
sometimes there is music when we pray, and sometimes there is quiet. There is the quiet of our hearts. There is the sound of, as we listen to the hearts of others around us, which we don't hear through our sensory organs, wherever sensory organs we use, but we can sort of sense by the intuition that we have in our hearts. That's the sense of empathy. That's the sense of reaching out to another person and trying to understand their pain and understanding their joys and understanding where they are in the world. We now offer time for quiet prayer and quiet contemplation to understand the feelings of gratitude that we have for being together in a community, for all the blessings we have in the world, and for understandings too about ourselves and how we improve ourselves through our prayers and how we make the world better as a result. We pause for a few moments of quiet prayer, and we will conclude our quiet prayer with Lech on page 645 when we get there. Meet you there.
To a land that I will show you. Lech to a place you do not know. Lech on your journey I will bless you. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechila. Lechila. And I shall make your name great. Lecha. And all shall praise your name. Lechila. To a place that I will show you. Lispat Chaim. Lispat Chaim. Lispat Chaim. Lechila. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing.
The Kiddush for this Friday evening can be found on page 123 in the prayer books. So please join Cantor Nami as he leads us in the Kiddush for this Erev Shabbat. Page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu בשבת קודשו, באהבה וברצון, הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים. בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת לחיים.
Thank you. Good Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbos.
We want to take a few moments to welcome everybody here tonight, and as we normally do on the third Friday night of the month, to offer honors to people who would like to tell us something good that is happening in the month that we're currently in. So if you're in the month of October, if you have an anniversary or a birthday or a new hire or something really special happened, please, and you feel brave enough to tell us, come on up, and sort of we'll maybe somehow, I'll use my microphone, I don't know how we'll do it. We'll figure that out. Anyway, if someone had something good happen, then we also have little important mementos from Temple Beth El. We can tonight we have either I Love Derech Eretz wristband, or we have bookmarkers, magnetic bookmarkers. If you remember what books were, so we have magnetic bookmarkers if you'd like to have one of those as well. So if something good happened to you, or you anticipate something good happening to you in the month of October, volunteers, anybody from the Promise Band to, oh, there's someone there who is coming forward.
Jack, you grab that wireless handheld that you're
Right behind you, yeah, that's great. Thank you, Steve, yes.
I took a vacation without my 9-month-old baby,
Whoa,
and I survived.
whoa, thank you. Next, who else would like to say something good? Les.
I'll just stay here.
Okay.
You said a new hire. This isn't exactly a new hire, but I'd like to introduce Alexander Lemkin. He's a new member of our band. Hopefully he'll be with us for many years to come.
Welcome.
I'll stand up and say something.
Yeah, please.
I was able to join the band for this month of October and hopefully many months to come.
Fantastic.
All right.
Please.
And I think maybe it was this month, no, it was last month that started coming to Temple Beth El. So.
Wonderful. Les, since you announced it too, you get to,
Okay.
why not?
Why not?
Other good things happen to people during this month. Anybody want to come forward? Acknowledge it, admit it? It's a big secret? Okay. Well, anyway, we do this again on the third Friday of every month. We invite people to tell us some of the good things that are happening in their lives. And now on page 600, what page were we on here? If you want the words for Hevenu Shalom Alechem, on page 644, you can join us for Hevenu Shalom Alechem.
Hevenu Shalom Alechem, Hevenu Shalom Alechem, Hevenu Shalom Alechem, Hevenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Alechem, Hevenu Shalom Alechem, Hevenu Shalom Alechem, Hevenu Shalom Alechem, Hevenu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Alechem. Hey.
On page 5 of the supplement is also another communal moment that we have. We say a prayer for healing and wholeness. On page 5 are the words for the healing prayer by Peter and Ellen Allard. And we have almost 100 people on the list of individuals whom we are thinking about on this day. But these are the kinds of people who are in our hearts and our minds, people who are affected by the coronavirus, people who live in cities of our nation afflicted by strife and contention, people with mental illness, victims of stalkers and sexual predators, those who have been trafficked as human slaves, victims of violence against anyone because of their skin color, their country of origin, their sexual orientation or gender identity, their ethnicity, or their level of ability, victims of natural and human-caused disasters, innocent victims of terror around the world, and all wounded service personnel serving our country. Again, and what we also normally do, if someone in the congregation would like to offer the name of someone special whom they are thinking of, we now invite you to share that name with us so that we too can share their pain and we can send blessings to them. We'll start over here. Dan?
Sheila Sullivan.
Are there other people we should be thinking about? Dear God, aloud and in our hearts, we name those facing illness and pain, and we join our prayers to the prayers of all who love them. Again, here on page 5 of the supplement.
May the prayers we say for the one that we love fly as birds on the wing to all those we think of. May God carry our healing blessings to those in need. May their burdens be eased, may their pains disappear. Make them healthy and whole, give them nothing to fear. Give them a healing of soul and body. Refuah le'am. Refuah hanefesh. Refuah laguf. Zarkanu. Refuah le'am. Refuah hanefesh. Refuah
On page 586 in the prayer book, we continue with Aleinu. We invite the community to rise. Again, page 586 at the top of the page.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, atei tefillah yoser breshit, shehu noteh shamayim veyosed haaretz, umoshav yikaro, bashamayim mima'al, u'shinatu zo b'govhei meromim, u'Eloheinu ein od, va'anachnu koreim, u'mishavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Please be seated. We continue on page 6 of the supplement with Vayom Hahu, a vision of what a world ridden of war and a world full of peace would be like. Page 6.
Vayom Hahu, Vayom Hahu.
And on that day, we are
Zecher Tzadik Livracha. May the memory of the righteous always be a blessing. At this moment, we remember those who passed away, who are gone from our lives, but not from our hearts or our minds. Those who died in the last 30 days, and those whose Yartzeiten occur at this time, and really others who may come to our minds because we keep their love near and in our hearts and souls at all times. These are those whom we are remembering. In the last 30 days, a member or someone who died who is connected to a member of our community. We remember Amir Saed, uncle of John Sager. And these are the Yartzeiten that occur at this time, the anniversary of their passing. If you are present tonight, by the way, in mourning or observing a Yartzeit, we invite you to rise as the name of your loved one is recited. And then you'll be joined by the whole congregation as together we recite the mourner's Kaddish. But tonight we also think of these Yartzeiten. We think of Leona Bernstein, Joseph Goldenberg, Sarah B. Goodman, Avishai Halevi, Irving Cohn, Rose Landweber, Fred Leiser, Jean L. Linderman, Lenore S. Lipkin, Howard J. Pillay, Anton Peidelstein, Merrill Pittleman, Dr. Joseph Preisler, Thurma L. Princer, Sophie Reeser, Joseph Rubenstein, Catherine Sheldon, Carol Seniko, Frida Citrick, Harriet Spector, Sylvia Thal, Max Turkheimer, Emily Villeli, George Wiener, and Haskell M. Waldenberg, all of blessed memory. Again, there may be others whom we are thinking of in this community of consolation and comfort, I hope. And if you would like to add a name to our Kaddish list of someone whom you are remembering tonight, we invite you to do so.
Rabbi Martin Lee.
Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be blessings in our hearts and the hearts and minds of all those who knew and loved them. Testifying then to the spirit that binds the generations of humanity together with memory and with love. We now invite you to turn to page 598 and we rise as one community. We recite the mourner's Kaddish. Again, page 598. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal. Shemei de kudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol bir chata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. May God send peace to all who mourn and comfort those who remember on this night. And we say, amen. Please be seated. Our service will conclude in a few moments, and so we have just a few, of course, announcements before we do that. First of all, my thanks go out to the Promised Band. Thank you to Cantor Nemi for preparing so beautifully our music, and Les Goldsmith, who put together all of the orders, and we thank you very much for your preparation. We want to thank Patty Putney, Alexander Lemkin, our new member, Les Goldsmith, Cantor Nemi, Julie Nessel, Jackie Foreman, Pam Robbins, and we thank you all for being here tonight, helping us worship on this third Friday night of the month, which we do again on the third Friday. So thank you all very much for that. Let's see. I want to thank Irv and Vivian Ehrlich for being our greeters tonight. Thank you very much for doing so. Just a few brief programmatic announcements. Tomorrow morning, there will be Torah study at 9 a.m. on Zoom. led by Cantor Nemi. It's Parashat Lech Lecha, as you might have inferred from the songs that we offered and from the service that we offered tonight. So get ready for a wonderful Torah study with that. At 10:30 a.m., I'm told there is Shabbat morning joyful worship, but I'm not sure if that's happening.
I'm not sure either. Neither of us are.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
It might not
So
actually
it
be happening.
may not be happening, but try it. You may be surprised.
Don't come unless you know it's there.
Don't come unless you know it's there. You say, okay, well, anyway. And tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m., there will be the Temple Bethel Trivia Night, which will be, again, online. And I think registrations are closed. I don't think they're taking registrations anymore. But please, those of you who are registered, please be there at 6:30 for the beginning with Havdalah, and then the game begins. So if you haven't had it, don't have a team, I think they put you into teams. Next Friday evening, there will be Shabbat worship at 7:30 p.m. on Friday, the 22nd of October. And on Saturday morning, the 23rd of October, there will be Torah study. And also at 10:30 a.m. will be a bat mitzvah of Kelsey Metner, daughter of Michelle Metner. So please join us for that. And details and registration for any of that can be found on the TBE website, which is tbemadison.org. And sort of a long-range announcement, on the weekend of November 12th through the 14th will be our Manfred E. Swarsensky Memorial Weekend. We will have a speaker who is Mark, what kind of thing?
Samuth.
Rabbi Mark Samuth, who will be presenting us the details of which you can find on our website. He will not be with us because of COVID, because of things happening. He will not be with us himself that weekend, but be here on Friday evening for his presentation that night, which he will do remotely. And the rest of the weekend will be online, as far as we are concerned. So be present for Friday evening, but for Saturday morning's Torah study, for Saturday afternoon's panel discussion that Cantor Nemi will be part of, and on Sunday morning, another lecture. That will be all online. I'm not sure what platform. I think we're on Zoom.
I believe so.
I think we're on Zoom. So check the website for that. By the way, in case you missed the weekly happenings this past week, we are making a transition from Facebook to YouTube. So in a few weeks, we will be broadcasting our services exclusively on YouTube. Right now, we're on both, I think, for a few more weeks. And so, but in a few weeks, we will transfer completely to YouTube. So watch for directions. It's very simple to watch something on YouTube, even if it's live. So the directions you'll find on the website at tbemadison.org.
And if you end up on Facebook, we'll find a way to make sure that you can get from there to YouTube.
We'll have a sign, some kind of signpost directing
something
you.
like that.
Yes, definitely. Tonight we have, again, for those of you who are attending here tonight, sorry at home, we don't have an oneg we can share with you, except we can share joy with you from here to home. But for those of you who are here, there is a cookie waiting for you from Just Bakery, one of our partners in town, which provide employment for those who are returning from their prison sentences. And so please take a cookie on the way out. Anything else that we should be announcing, Cantor, tonight? I don't think so. I think that we have had a wonderful service tonight. Again, wonderful music. We want to invite you now for our concluding song on page 7 of the supplements. On page 7 of the supplements, and I want, Cantor, you want to walk us into this?
Yeah, just again to note that we are in Parashat Lech Lecha this week, and Vayera next week, the saga of Abraham. And so the verses that we're offering tonight kind of tune into that. And again, standing offer, if anybody can ever help me find the origin of this tune, we'll be best friends. And these are verses that I wrote to go along with the Parshiot for this spiritual, some song or other, but no one walks alone. So you get a sense of the tune if you haven't heard it before already.
No one walks alone. No one walks alone. There's a reason for this prophecy, a promise made to you and me, that no one
Shalom, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful week ahead. And thank you, group. Thank you so much for being part of this band. Alexander, thank you for being here and taking this leap.
Thanks for having me. Hopefully I get a little better.
It's always lovely to see.
I know it's a learn all by fire.
You too. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like learning 25 songs all at once.
I never expected to have
I
services
know.
surrounded by accordions.
No, we need.
I know, isn't it?
We have a model.
Great.
We have a
Kind of started when I was
speaker model.
rabbi a lot.
All here. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, that was lovely.